open the link to the webinar so I can see the chat on my second monitor.
Yeah, I got it opened as well.
So we are live now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll do the introduction as soon as I open the webinar. Wait.
Yeah.
Where's the link to the webinar? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I'm opening it up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'm in. The chat is loading. Is the link posted in
Wait.
the VIP members?
I'm gonna give you the link
Oh, it's
on
posted.
Telegram. Oh, sorry. Okay, cool.
I mean, it says 5 watching now. Last time it was like 150, so...
I think we posted the link. Yep, we did post the link, yeah.
Hmm.
Just wait a couple more minutes and then...
Okay, so anyone that entered the webinar right now, we're just gonna wait a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes or something. Just wait for everyone to join. And then we'll do the introduction, and we're going to be mentioning what topics we're talking about today. In short, we're going to be explaining why altcoins took a dump. We're going to explain the conditions that Bitcoin set in price action, and also showcase some future supports and resistances. We're going to announce videos that we'll be doing for hardcore, and we're also going to check out some alts we think they look good, and maybe prepare some trades for everyone.
Yep, that's exactly it, yeah. Also gonna talk about why all it's dumped and such stuff.
Fabio Jacob says, hashtag Team Infinity. What's up, Fabio? So if you're joining the chat right now, say what's up in the chat so we can know that you joined. We're just gonna wait another 5 minutes just for everyone to join, and then we'll start the webinar. So who's here is here. Also, if you guys want us to check out any altcoins at the end, just say it in the chat. Write hashtag and then altcoin.
Yeah, then
whichever
we
you
have
want.
some extra time. We will check them all up on live on stream. If not, we will post it in the channels.
Yeah,
in our VIP
basically.
English channel. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. If we have extra time at the end, we're gonna check them out. Hopefully, we do.
Yep, we got some topics to talk about today. They're extensive topics and a couple of analyses. And hopefully we will learn something today. Okay, go then.
Okay, so basically Andreas is telling us to start off right now. So we're just gonna start off by explaining the news, and Alex is going to explain the news side. But first, I'm going to explain the conditions that Bitcoin set before the news, and then we're gonna mix it all up so you guys can understand the confluence between the bad news for altcoins and the bullishness for Bitcoin that was set in price action. So you can see the topics we have today. I'm gonna move that to the side. So basically, I'm gonna place a vertical line on the chart. The news, I think, started out around the 13th of June, right, or something like that, around the 14th. Basically, somewhere around here, we had bearish news, which was that Binance was banning US citizens from trading, and that they will make another website for Binance US citizens and something like that. But basically, before that, what we had this low here, which was a region of testing previously. But because we claimed the high, we tested it again and basically made an SFP under it. And what an SFP is, it's called a swing failure pattern. So what a swing failure pattern does is you trade under a low that has massive amounts of liquidity under it. You pick up that liquidity and then you trade back above it. Now, the next thing the price action did is it made a higher low comparatively to the last low we made in price action. Next, after that, we claimed this high with the wicks above, and then we made another higher low around the midpoint of the range. After that, we continued soaring upwards. We saw the news that was bad for altcoins, but what happened was that every US citizen that saw the news, they opened up Binance and they immediately started selling altcoins and they bought up Bitcoin. So now all these Americans that bought Bitcoin are now holding Bitcoin. So the supply diminished, but the demand increased. And that's why we saw an explosive rise in Bitcoin and a huge dump in altcoins. Of course, we all know what happened recently with the trades in hardcore. Many of them hit stop losses, which is not really a fault due to the traders. All those trades were valid, but as soon as the news popped up, all those trades became invalidated because of the bearishness of the news, because of the fundamental context, and because of the confluence that didn't coincide with the trading ideas. The trading ideas used to were aggressive, but it wasn't good with the confluence of the news. So this is why many trades were invalidated. And because of this, we Alex and I came up with a couple of ideas how to prevent further losses such as this. So new updates will be coming soon with the new bot. That's I think Andy told me it's coming at the end of the month or something like that. So we'll see about that. But the two new updates that we'll be implementing is that nobody will be able to enter trades without using a stop loss unless they want to hold an investment, which again, that isn't trading, it's holding. And the next update will be that we'll be putting a risk limit on trades, meaning you can't risk more than 2% on a trade, which means if the stop loss gets hit, you only lose 2%. But at start, I recommended that we limit that to actually 1% because of the conditions we're in right now. Alex, did you want to say something?
Yeah, exactly. Like you mentioned about news on Binance. Pretty much, if you look at Binance volume, or should I say liquidity statistics, more than 50% of that volume comes from US markets. So we all know that US markets are pretty difficult situations across the whole crypto right now. So now there's some rumors that Binance will be bringing out Binance US. So just the Binance exchange just for US oriented people, which we don't know if it's true yet, and we're just speculating about that. But why all the trades went wrong, as he mentioned, huge bearish news, huge bearish news. We didn't exactly anticipate that it would be to such extent bearish, but if we put ourselves in the skin of Americans, of course they're going to sell their holdings into Bitcoin, right? The only question now is, since the tax year there is have ended, will they sell the Bitcoin to dollars or will they keep the Bitcoin? Because if they won't sell the Bitcoin to dollars, we can see Bitcoin roaring above 10 grand quite soonish actually. But if they decide to cash out crypto, I don't know how American government is going to come down hard on them, or will they allow Binance to create the exchange just for them? We don't know yet, but we'll see that in the future. But as he mentioned right now, Bitcoin still looks good. We're still in bullish waters. We haven't lost the support yet. Like we haven't lost this yet. We're still making a little bit upper highs. Like we could say this is double high, but if we go on lower time frame, this is we broke the high right here. So yeah, we will see what happens in the future, right? We can only do the present TA. We cannot predict the future, but we can adapt to it and predict it a certain way so that we protect our capital as well. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so basically, if you guys didn't see, whilst Alex was talking, it wasn't showing up my chart, but what Alex mentioned in the recent price action of Bitcoin is, so basically on the daily, I'm just gonna remove all these lines. Let me just remove everything. So get the text back. Okay. So on the daily, what we had is a swing high. So right here we have a swing high. And over here on the swing high, what we had was a daily close above, which is bullish, but the next daily closed under this line. So this isn't a good sign right now. And it is something I mentioned in the previous updates in VIP members, is that on the 4-hour, as soon as we broke out, so as soon as we broke out here, price action set the condition that if we don't have a 4-hour close above 9,350, we are going to be bearish. Okay, so we're going to reject these highs, and that is exactly what we did. So we haven't had a close under. We gained above this level, we gained above it, but we haven't achieved it because we didn't close above this range low, which is 9,350. And right after that, you saw my confirmation was correct, and then we went back and we dumped. So right now, basically, we're just going in a triangle right now. Triangles aren't what we draw usually because it's not that important. But right now, what I'm expecting is that since we made a higher low here, we're still sustaining bullish momentum in Bitcoin. Okay, so we're still good. Of course, we did make a lower high here, which isn't good. But since the price action, the context of the price action in Bitcoin is still bullish, this lower high doesn't matter that much. So we can still expect some kind of continuation here. But again, if the 4-hour doesn't close above 9,350, we're still bearish. Okay, Alex, is there anything else you want to add here?
Yeah. Also, if we look at volume, if you could show volume a little bit on the chart.
Okay,
You're gonna just add it
sure. Let me
again.
just pull it up,
Yep.
and I can do TTM too.
Yeah, it's just volume. It's okay though.
Yeah, but where's TTM squeeze?
No,
Okay.
just leave it. They don't need. So if you look at it, even the volume, right, we're slightly getting that slight descendant, which is also like you mentioned. Since right here we could argue we made a higher high, right? But if on the higher time frames, we can say this is a double top, right? So this is a double top, but we're making higher lows, right? With descending volume, it's not really, like you said, it's not really bullish in the terms of that basic TA, right? But if, as far as we look at it, we still have room to make a couple of spikes like this, which means we would push like up to like maybe 9,700, maybe 10,000 around here, and then reject, and then probably start with bearish, or should I say retracement on BTC, right? We still have room to pump over the top and then deny on the next Bain level, and then just go for a retracement. And that retracement could actually lead us to like 6 to 7,000 potentially, and then see what happens there next, right? So that would be
Yeah.
for
So
Bitcoin.
basically, the most important support here on Bitcoin right now is if you take a look at the futures contract on CME, you'll notice we left a gap.
Yep.
We left a massive gap. And the last time we left a massive gap like this was here. And we had this massive week downwards, right? So this is why I keep saying we could expect another week to 8,500, which on the contract is here. Again, it's in this structure, so it's valid. It's in this. This is basically the last resistance we broke before we took this high. So it's valid in all cases. It's a really good level to the long, which is why I'm expecting something like this to happen. And then go back to the midpoint. The midpoint, of course, is here of this range. So far, it can change in the future. So that's the support we're looking at. And on the weekly or on the daily, future resistances are right here at 9,780. That's a future resistance. We could be reaching 9,780 as soon as we have a 4-hour close above 9,350. And then you should be gaining this high. So above 10K, you should be gaining. And if you gain 10K, then you have to make something like this, another higher low here. And only then you could see continuation after that. So if we gain 10K, then the next stop is 11K. So it's this level. This level.
On weekly, yeah.
And
But you
yeah,
could
and
already stop
honestly,
here on
I
daily.
think.
Yeah.
What?
You could already stop here on daily, you know. That's also one good
You
level.
could, yeah, this
Yeah.
is a place for rejection, truly,
But
yes.
daily, not on
10,400. It's on the daily. Okay, yeah, but yeah. What I was trying to say is above 10K, you have a liquidity point, and the next level above that liquidity point is 10,400. So it could be a good level for rejection. But this level is very important. Actually, this whole structure here is very important because if we have 2 weekly confirmations, so 2 weekly closes above 11K, we could see something of a bull market. It's true, but we have to have 2 weekly closes above 11K, above 11,500, and that's gonna be very, very, very tough to make. But if we do that, you know, we have potential for more upside after that.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to get there first. We have to get there
Exactly.
first.
If we hit this level right here, short is like 80%, 90% successful in short. So we're definitely taking a big short right here. If we get stopped, we get stopped. That's how it's trading. It's never 100%, but this is the trade you have to take 100% of the time. You cannot miss this trade
Yeah,
because it's so rare that you will blow it off in the first try. It's almost impossible. There's such a big liquidity pool above this level. It's just amazing. Probably every whale is probably shorting right here. So there's a huge
yeah.
potential.
And also you can have a really tight stop. That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can target
And
like 6,000, a little bit more, maybe above for safety, yeah. But 6
yeah,
grand should
something
be a
like
main
this.
target around there, yeah.
Because if you keep gaining levels like this again, then this tested level right here, which was already tested, would be tested again.
Yep.
Because then you have people that are placing stops under this low. So again, you have liquidity here.
Yep.
And you can easily come back there. But okay, yeah, that's it for Bitcoin. I think we mentioned everything for Bitcoin right now. So
So
the
what I
next topics we have to cover. What are the next topics we have to cover, Alex?
let me just open it up.
Uh,
Yeah, we
we
said
can also, before doing altcoins, we should announce the videos that we'll be doing. So
Yep.
for hardcore, Alex and I are teaming up, and we're going to do 10 videos that are going to be released on the 1st of August, and we're going to be covering the following topics. I have them written down here. Wait a second. So we're going to be covering an introductory topic. So, what is trading and why do we trade? What is swing trading and what is scalping? So, those are the first three videos in the introductory topic. Then we're going to be covering technical analysis basics. So, the first video will be higher time frames and lower time frames, then explaining market cycles. Then we're going to explaining simple support and resistance. Then we're moving on to explaining SR flips and what to derive from them, because you're always going to see many people drawing SR flips, but not knowing what's actually going on, like what's actually going on in the context of the market. So we're going to be explaining that too, and also of course using TradingView and which tools to focus on, and how to use TradingView to clean up your charts to have very clean scenarios laid out, and how to use it to plan and strategize ahead of the game so you can always be 10 steps ahead. Because if you want to be a profitable trader, if you're a couple steps ahead, you're probably losing money. If you're 10 steps ahead, then you're definitely making money. So it's a very difficult game, of course. Then the third topic is going to be mindset and discipline. And we're going to be explaining how to journal trades, how to take notes of some techniques, and how to use our template for taking notes on the psychological sides of the trades. We're also going to explaining the mindset that is needed to be a profitable trader, and explaining why trading is hard and how to embrace suffering during trading. So Araman says Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Aunt Bitcoin. So we're going to be checking that out next.
Ethereum
Anyone that's
especially.
joining right now,
Okay.
anyone that's joining right now, you can just give us altcoins, and we're going to be charting them. So that's
Yeah.
what we'll be doing next.
So
So Alex, what do you
Yeah.
want to say about Ethereum?
Yeah, Ethereum was our child, to be honest, back in the day. Ethereum was respecting levels and everything. TA related way more than Bitcoin ever did. But the specialty with Ethereum right now, maybe because we are approaching summer times, Ethereum is losing that respectfulness. It weaks quite some more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually respects charts way more than Ethereum right now, and maybe because Ether Bitcoin is actually losing the support on the, sorry, it's actually losing that bullish levels, and it's lacking behind the Bitcoin. That could probably be the issue here. But we will see on the chart right now. It's not loading up, or
Yeah, it's lagging a bit.
yeah, it's probably team view, sorry, not team view, trading view. Moment. Let me see if it works for me. Yeah, it doesn't work for me either.
So
Also,
some technical issues on our
yeah,
side because my internet is really slow,
I don't
but
think it's
we're
your
gonna
internet, man.
just
It doesn't work for me. But just to
good.
go
Oh,
onwards, yeah, just to go onwards, where we said, Jakov mentioned that we will make all these video series. We will also follow up with another video series after that video series, explaining all the important, or should I say most used indicators in the world of trading. We will do video for each and own indicator, explaining why it's good, or how to use it, and why the traders use it. Ourselves, we learned ourselves not to trade with indicators anymore, and we will explain that in video series as well, why we don't use why we don't use indicators anymore. But for you to reach this level, you have to understand why are those indicators good and why you don't need them in the future. So that's a little bit on more advanced level, which we will also cover in the video series on hardcore signals. Yeah.
yeah. So TradingView isn't working for me right now.
Wait, I will give you a screenshot.
Yeah. Is TradingView working for you?
It just opened up. Here you go, screenshot. You can
Okay.
open this up. Wait. Let me give you another one. Here you go. Open this one.
So actually, it's not loading anything. I gotta switch my internet. Wait.
That's what happens when you got storms in the country.
Okay, you there?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, am I still streaming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex. Yeah, you're still streaming. Yeah, I can still see your screen. Okay. Yeah. Now you disconnected. Alexa, about Leo BTC. If I'm not mistaken, you're talking about the Bitfinex coin, right? The EAO that they hold for it. Just a sec. Yeah, Alexa. To be honest, the coin like this is not really a TA type of coin. It's it's so manipulated, and they created all this fake demand for it. And to be honest, in my world, I rather stay away from such coins because I know they won't respect levels. They only respect the market makers, and which basically means they pay people to move the markets for them. So they create this fake demand so that people think, oh, look at all this volume and this coin is going to the moon, so forth and so forth. But it's just one big ugly scam at the end of the day, right? I mean, if you have to go into these exchange coins, then BNB would be much better type of coin to play with than a coin from Bitfinex.
Okay, boys, we're back.
Yeah.
I'm back,
Just click
honestly.
this one. Yeah, I'll close this one.
Okay, so Ethereum, Bitcoin, what do we have here? Wait, let me just close this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Let's first go on the weekly. See what's up there. So, okay, so we SFP'd under this. Oh, actually, then we tested the tested level. Okay, cool. Next, we have this level again. Or I'll just take this level. And then moving down to the daily. Yeah, this is the level we're looking out for. And this is the lowest point we can go. And this is the invalidation zone. So anything under this and we're bearish. But to what point? Wait, this is the Binance one. So basically you have to go under this one low then. 23230. Okay.
Yep.
So any daily close under this level, 247, and we're going down to 230. So any close under that level, and we have another 6% drop.
Even if it
But
touches there, yeah.
yeah, but
It's
for
a red
now,
damage.
we have this level at this point. But I don't like that level because if you wanted to long at this level, the context of the market here is that you should have made a far more aggressive drop to this level if you wanted a aggressive pump. But what's happening here in the price action is you're having a very slow move, which basically signals that there is no demand at this region. There's no demand here. It's not moving at all. And even if this was accumulation, you basically failed. You failed to accumulate. So now you're moving lower. And my first level to buy would be here. And then at this lower points here. So on the 4-hour, I think this level is still the best. This level is still the best level to hold. This is a very bullish. This is a bullish. This is a very bullish entry. This is a bullish entry,
Yeah.
and this is a bearish entry for a bullish bounce.
And you want to see aggressive bounce when it hits that level. If it's not aggressive enough, it's bearish already. You gotta really hit it. You gotta gain this one as fast as possible.
Yeah. So basically, what's happening right now, if you bounce from this point, you want to gain this level. So you want to do something like this. If you don't do this, if you see resistance already here at this point, you're not gaining anything. You're failing and you're moving lower. So that's what we're going to be observing right now. But depending on how, taking into consideration how slow this is moving, you're probably going to see a very weak reaction here. Very weak. Next, you could see a wick down here, but again, if you wick down here, then you have to gain this level and then continue upwards. Okay, so the previous level that you wanted to see a bounce, that's the level you want to gain after a bounce off the lower level. Same for this. If you bounce here, you want to gain this and then continue upwards. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, that's it. Next, we're moving on to ONT. ONT Bitcoin, ontology.
Yeah.
ONT. What's up here? Let's go to the monthly.
Oh my gosh, this one already.
Well, this is dead. Okay, so let's just print the all-time low and write ATL. Moving down to the weekly, we have which
I mean, there was the point. It came perfectly up where it should go after it, make a breakout, but it failed and when
yeah
retraced 100% down as well. This is not bullish at all.
yeah.
Look at
So
it;
what
it didn't
I
even
what,
react here.
yeah, it didn't even react here at all.
Yeah,
So what Alex is talking about, you gain this level with this move, and this low was fronted. You can see by this. I mean, there was probably some other level here, but it doesn't matter. So it was fronted. Then you had bullish continuation to the upside. And basically, you had an ABC, which is just a correction in a bearish market. Next, you had a full retrace back to the source of the move, and you have a completely failed reaction because you're not gaining anything. And obviously, already from the weekly, you see that this level is the one you want to gain. So you want to have a weekly close above this level, but you're not. Basically, price is being suppressed. It's moving further downwards. That's on the weekly. Now on the daily, you basically see that you're making lower highs all the time.
yeah, but you're holding the same support, but it's just a matter of time when that support cracks down. It looks like it's gonna be right now, so
Yeah.
it's
So a,
not.
spe- a special situation here is that you wick down here, gain above this, and then you should hold above this low. Unlikely, honestly, because the all-time low is close. Because if you drop from here, I mean that's just a 30% drop. That's not much in crypto, honestly.
Yeah,
So you can pick up liquidity here, and maybe you would see something like this trading under accumulate, then you back
uh,
up, and
and
that's it.
again,
Okay.
if you touch this level, you want to see immediate reaction. If it's not immediate, like you're going out because it's not gonna happen, right? It's again same story.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
Aunt, basically how you would play this is you would you would
Oops.
place along here with a stop here, and you would go down even to the 3 minute just to gauge the reaction because you want an immediate reaction to this level. If there is no demand here, you won't see almost no reaction, and it's just gonna dump right down to the all-time low.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
that's it for on Bitcoin. CK
You
Felix.
can we can
What?
check Leocoin. We can check Leocoin
Oh, yeah,
BTC
where
with
is that?
Exa. Yeah. Just check it. No, no, no. It's on TradingView. You don't have to.
It's in TradingView?
Yeah,
Really?
it's on TradingView. Also, Felix is asking, what do you think about new Facebook coin? Personally, I think it's a great commercial for crypto. Since Facebook, which is the biggest social media thingy, goes into crypto, right? We think it's bullish news, right? But I'm not a big fan of it because I know it's gonna be coming down to they're gonna collect all the information about people and they're gonna play with stable coins and stuff like that. The whole idea of crypto is that that how to say that our identities are more hidden. If you do it like Libra, if you do it like Libra has idea for, it's like that we're basically ending in the same way that banks started this whole thing. We're basically right there at banks. So I don't see the point of crypto if you do it like Libra does. I just don't see it. I want anonymity when it comes to crypto, right? That was the whole idea from the start. So at Leo BTC, right? We can already see if you turn on volume again, volume indicator. If you can turn it on, so you can already see, like just from watching this pure indicator, you can see where market
Yeah,
maker,
the
which is
market
yeah,
maker.
kicks in. Like look at these candles, you can see that there's no candles in the price section, but look at this volume. It keeps increasing, but there's no candles. So that means somebody wasn't even buying. Weren't even a single buy made in this day, but we still have this massive volume candle. So this is what I'm saying. This is heavily manipulated. It's probably manipulated by Chinese market makers. You get these gaps all over the place. It's like watching a stock on 5 minute chart. And this is why I don't like to play with these coins, because what happens, they find distraction. Like, I'm not gonna say they never that they don't sort of follow basic TA, because they have to follow some TA if they want to pump the coin, right? But look, this is a scenario you're gonna have so many times. They're gonna pump it. They're gonna do this. They're gonna sell it, sell it, sell it. They're gonna go under this level. They're gonna probably pump it to like here, sell some more, and then it's just gonna dump back to the ICO price. They again gonna accumulate it like this and just do the same story again. And this is what they do with these Chinese market makers. They just manipulate the shit out of it, right? I don't even know what happened here. Probably a bot failed or something, or who bought the whole way up. I don't know. Like, this is like 200% or 300. So, oh yeah, I see the FIB reacted. Yeah, but how many percent pump? What that was? Oh yeah, 70. Only 70%. I expected more. Okay, so it wasn't such a fat finger. I mean, he wrecked it himself, right? But it wasn't such a hard fat finger. Okay, do we have any more suggestions for coins? Or maybe we could move on and go like ADA or something like that, or Harmony. Felix again, he's asking some themes for holy altcoins. Which coins have the most potential? I'm not really here to give you such financial advices for about long time holds. I used to hold my coins for the longer times periods of time, but then I see that it's better if you just trade it. So right now I don't have any coins in my cold storage wallet. I just trade because market is not really in bullish stand, and you definitely don't want to hold coins in bearish market. So until we break that bullish level on BTC, I'm definitely not gonna hold any coins. So I'm not the right person to give you advice for that right now. Okay. Yeah. You can talk about Harmony now, Jakov. Sorry, Tyler. I think you're muted, man. I think your mic is muted.
Oh, I'm muted? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking with myself for the past, I don't know how many minutes, but okay. I think I was eating ice cream. Anyways, we failed to close under this low, meaning we didn't lose anything. And right after that, as soon as we picked up liquidity, we had a gain of the recent high. And what I'm expecting now is, if you look at the volume, we had some big volume coming in here compared to relatively to this. So right now what you want to see is everyone FOMO is above this. They provide liquidity to distribute, and then the smart money buys here, and then you have continuation. So that's the idea. So basically what I'm looking for here is that we can enter here with a stop loss under this low, and then target this untested region. Basically this. It's a good trade. It's a nice trade for starters, So that's for Harmony. We can go to ADA Bitcoin now.
Yep.
So for ADA Bitcoin on Binance, what I'm looking is, so basically you had a low here, you had a lower low here, then you had a higher low, and now everything under this higher low looks to be liquidity. So I would look at it like this. I mean, you should see a bounce anywhere under this zone. This is how I would look at it. But on BitMEX, the chart is much nicer. The chart makes much more sense here because you can have a much tighter stop loss, like somewhere here. And then what you want to do is, if you peak under this, provide liquidity, have an immediate reaction, like we always say, immediate reaction. You want to gain above a high that's probably going to be made here. You want to gain above it, trade above it, create a higher low. So if there's a low here, you want to create a higher low here. and then you want to see continuation. And then you have actually you have a lot of room to the upside. A lot of room to the upside you actually have. So this can be a good trade in the future. Sorry, I sneezed. Anyways, Litecoin Bitcoin is next. I think this is setting up for a short.
Oh yeah.
This level?
Yeah, we definitely lost this one, yeah. So now you can see this gap would be a nice short.
Yeah. So let's look at this point. I mean, for a buy in the future, I would either look to this level again or for a bullish entry here.
Yeah.
Because this was already used. Oh, it wasn't? Oh, on Binance it wasn't. Binance it wasn't. But
Makes no point to look in Max because you're changing the charts, you know, so you won't have the charts on Max in 1 week.
yeah, true. On Max,
Yeah.
it made
Yeah,
sense. That's always so weird to me
yeah,
how the
yeah.
charts are so different.
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah, you still have this level to test, this level and this level.
And for this entry, you had to go on a little lower time frames to really pinpoint the entry, because since on daily it's going to be too wide this gap. Yeah, like it's better on 4 hour. You can pin it to this point or exactly around here.
Because you can have a tighter stop here for a short.
Yep.
Something like this should work out.
Yeah, but first we want to see how it's gonna react down here. If like we wouldn't immediately take this short, we first want to see how it's gonna play around here, and then we would just adjust the stop and everything a little bit in entry.
Yeah, because right now you already see what I always talk about, a higher low. Like, see, you respected this. You had a low here, and you're trying to gain this level, and you can only gain it if you make a higher low
Yeah,
here.
and this is pretty heavy resistance, so we will see how it reacts from here. Then we will know where to short around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because remember, we're not trying to predict the future. We're just trying to play the current situation, and that's all about trading. Nobody can predict the future. You know, most of the traders that try to predict the future with so-called what's that indicator called again? The one that he always makes fun of. Uh,
RSI,
no. You know,
NACD,
no,
Ichimoku.
the other one.
I mean,
Fell out of
all of them are jokes.
Yeah, it just fell out of my mind. It's some lines, A, B lines. Like it takes 15 to 20 years of practice to really know what's gonna go in the future. And so 99% of traders who said that they know what's gonna happen in the future, or that they predicted this, blah blah blah, they were mostly lucky or just, bullshitting. So yeah.
Yeah, for example, on Bitcoin, there's nothing that I predicted in an update. Like, I didn't say, you're gonna dump, Bitcoin is gonna dump. All you do with price action is, if you have a close above this level,
Yeah.
then you're bullish. If you don't, then you're bearish. It's simple as that, But you can't ever say, this is gonna happen and
Exactly.
nothing else is a valid situation. That's impossible.
Exactly. Nothing is 100% in trading. There's always, like, for example, we close above this level, this is more than 50% chance that we're bullish. So more than 50% chance, and if our risk to reward ratio is 2x or 3x, that makes our point value to enter. So that means we make more money than we lose if we're not correct. So you're just looking for these scenarios that you want to be right more times than you're wrong, and your profit is big enough for you to be profitable in the long run. So that's why trading is all about the long run. You just want to aim that long run, and it's not about moon and Lambos and getting rich fast. So that's why we have
Yeah,
to
and also
take risk.
the most important mindset here is to remember that we are in a bear market. We're still in a bear market. This is not a bull market. This is just a rally in a bear market. Okay?
Yep.
This is just a bullish correction in a bear market. Okay?
Exactly.
All you did here was go down, and now you're just correcting, so you can go down more later on. Again, that doesn't have to happen. That's why I said this
We're not
level is
predicting the future. Yeah.
yeah, we're not predicting the future, as I said, but the condition here on the higher time frames, very very high time frames, is if you close above this level, then truly it's confirmed you're bullish. There's probably 80% chance that if you have 2 weekly closes above this level, that you're just gonna continue upwards. To where we don't know, but it's you can truly confirm something like that then, because think of this chart as if it was a 15-minute chart. If this was the 15-minute chart, you would treat it the same way as if it's a weekly chart, because the price conditions are the same. They're exactly the same all the time. They're just placed in a different context, which is why at the same time they're the same thing, but they're always different, which is why reading price action is very difficult, because it changes all the time. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it for this webinar.
Yep.
So the main condition you want to see in Bitcoin right now is if you close above 9350 with a 4-hour close, you have, as Alex said, higher than 50% chance of more upside.
Yeah.
If you have a 4-hour close under 8,937, then you have 50% chance or more to go to 8,500.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Combined with a tight stop loss and a good risk to reward ratio, you're gonna make profits on the long term, and that's our goal. Just make profits consistently on a longer term basis, and that's how you and grow your banks till you reach some serious amounts of money, and then 1% means a lot in the future. So might not mean a lot. 1% might not mean a lot to you right now. It might sound like, wow, only 1%, that's pretty small. But think about in the future when you have, like, I don't know, hundreds, thousands, or $50,000, then 1% is $500 or $1,000. That's pretty much. I mean, I don't know where you guys come from, but from where I come from, that's a lot of money. So
yeah, that's a lot of money, definitely.
Yeah.
Because look at the compound interest, and look at the fact that if you're profiting in the bear market, basically all you're doing is just accumulating Bitcoin so you can prepare for the bull market. That's it. You're doing nothing else. In the bull market, you just sit your ass down and wait, and the money is coming in. In the bear market, trading is difficult, and you make a couple percentages maybe a month, but those percentages stack up, and maybe if you have a bull market in 6 months or in a year or 2 years, those percentages stack up, and then all of a sudden in a year or so you increase your portfolio by a lot, and then your dollar value increases by a ton when Bitcoin starts just ravaging everything in its path. That's the plan, that's the idea, that's why we're here.
And we still think the bullish times will come back. They will come back most definitely. Like, we expect that Bitcoin for one day to go above 20,000 even. So we do think crypto has a future. We believe in crypto that they have a future in the long term run. But exactly like we said now, we don't know when that will happen. And until that happens, we will remain like this. We will not hold any long term positions. We will not hold any projects, coins, ICOs anyway. We will just continue to trade our capital as best as we know, and as soon as something goes, as soon as we switch into back into bullish market, we will start looking for some projects to invest for longer time period and just relax a little bit on a beach or something.
Yeah,
and that should be your goal as well.
yeah, that
It's the
should be
best kind
everyone's
of
goal
play.
here.
Yeah, it's the best kind of play at the end of the day, to protect your capital and everything, really. So that should be it for today. Also, this is going to be uploaded to Hardcore Signal website, so you can check both there if you missed the beginning or if you came in the middle halfway. I think we really covered some important parts today. Really think we worked around 5 coins, 6 coins, and let's say we will
Yeah,
see.
so we charted a lot, we explained some
Yeah,
price action, we explained some higher lows, we explained a lot of stuff today, and I hope you guys all learned a lot about risk management and a lot about reading charts. That's
exactly.
it, guys. So Maxim, if you're here, start closing the webinar down. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed and had some fun with us, learned a lot, and